Evening and welcome back to another video. Today we'll do a news roundup as usual, and we will start with the markets, and it's not looking pretty today. I think we're down around 9 billion from yesterday, which is quite a big loss, and we're kind of edging towards that bottoming. I had a look this morning. The price of Bitcoin in December, we've still got around $300 to go to get to our lowest point that we've had so far in 2018. I think it was around $3,150, around that much. So we're still about $300 off that. And whether we're going to hit this bottom of 3,000, which we keep hearing, or lower, there was a lot of sideways movement and we expected a breakout. And unfortunately, the breakout has been down. And now we're kind of running sideways again for the last few hours. Bitcoin dominance has gone up, so it's 53.7%. 2025 volume is actually up to 19.5 billion. And what are the biggest losses of the day? That's the gains. Honestly, this becomes like just a recurring back and forth. Goes up and then goes down. I think a couple of these other currencies were up over the last few days. Are down. Ogo, I think that was slightly up, and now it's taken a bit of a hit. And Bitcoin Gold, which I don't really speak about much. And what's up? Coins I've never heard of. Revain, sorry, not aware of this project. Volume is fairly low. Aurora, I vaguely remember that in 2017 or 18. I mean, it's like someone's heart rate is just constantly up and down. I mean, not financial advice, but clearly you buy on the dip and sell on the high. It just seems to be an easy win there. And DAI, again, not something I've not heard of. But that's the markets. Not looking too pretty. Sorry, I just saw PayPal. It's literally just a straight line. That's incredible. Anyway, let's start off with the news, and we'll start off with something which makes sense now why Tron was up so much. 100% completed. The BitTorrent's ICO is 15-minute sellout. So let's go and have a look at this. I thought I already had this open anyway. BitTorrent, acquired by Tron last year, completed an ICO today, beginning at 3 p.m. UTC using Binance Launchpad. 2 simultaneous sales will run for Binance Coin and Tron. Neither market lasted longer than 15 minutes, according to Binance. More BTT was available for Tron than BNB. Kind of makes sense. They want to kind of pump up that price of Tron. In the BNB session, all 23.76 billion BTT was sold to token sale participants within 13 minutes and 25 seconds. Meanwhile, the Tron session, all of 35.64 billion BTT were sold within 14 minutes and 41 seconds. That's incredible. So much hype around this. BTT is a TRC10 token that incentivizes improved file sharing on the network. The new system will enable downloads and uploads to utilize BTT in a variety of ways. The primary intention is to encourage seeders to seed files longer. Seeding is essential. So the whole point of BitTorrent was you'd have a file, hopefully not illegal, and other people would have that file as well, and everybody would get chunks of that file. So if I wanted that file, I would take chunks from different seeders, depending on how much they allowed on their bandwidth. And I guess what they hear is the more you allow to seed in terms of bandwidth, the more incentivized you are with BTT. Choking is a primary means of allocating resource within a BitTorrent swarm. It is a mechanism that we will adapt to allow for a client to offer rewards to others for continued seeding of content they want access to. Allowing clients to bid BTT for preferential treatment by the checking algorithm gives them a powerful tool to offer incentives to seed to remain a swarm. So I think the BitTorrent himself, original client created by BitTorrent's protocol inventor, Bram Cohen, has publicly made it clear he has no affiliation with the latest incarnation of BitTorrent. At the same time, Cohen has been working on his own cryptocurrency project called Chia. According to the white paper, the token uses Lightning Network-like payment channels to create contracts between seeds, uploaders, and downloaders. One thing that is unclear is whether alternative Bitcoin clients will be able to access pay download speeds. However, according to Binance research, paid consumers are not only the ones who benefit. The tokens is an opt-in model, meaning that individuals that do not want to pay or charge for torrenting can always continue to do so. With the potential to earn, the token can also disincentivize users from turning off seeding once they receive the files they want, because of the opportunity cost of foregone seeding income. I think I might be missing something here. Personally, I don't get the hype. I'm sorry, I don't understand. I mean, BitTorrent is something that which was around years and years ago. It's a very, very clever idea, BitTorrent, about obtaining files from various different locations. Almost like fractions of it, chunks of it from different people, and at different, they would allow different speeds. I don't understand why it sold out in 15 minutes. And again, I may be totally ignorant here. I mean, this is a big win for Tron, and you obviously saw why the pump price was pumping over the last few days. Everybody was just buying Tron just to dump it into this ICO. But like I said in my previous videos, in the last 2 years, I've invested in 3 ICOs. This wasn't even on my radar. I can't see long term what this is going to do. I mean, yes, it's a good way for people to share files back and forth. But are we not going to go back into a situation where you're going to end up having illegal downloads on there? And that is essentially, without criticizing BitTorrent or Tron for this project, is that not essentially what BitTorrent was being used for, was for legal downloads? And that's what people were going there for. People weren't going there to buy, what's it called? Royalty-free music or royalty-free movies. I just don't understand. I mean, the fact that they're able to sell around 50 billion BTT in less than 15 minutes seems to suggest a lot of people think this is going to be a good project. I don't know what price they were selling at, to be honest. Obviously, it's not going to be showing up on CoinMarketCap, and I doubt it's going to be that quickly because it just finished out of its the BTT already exists as a blockchain trade, and I don't think that's it. Clearly not. Or is it? Can't be. No, this is something else. I don't understand that side of it. If someone could explain to me in the comments what, or maybe a good article explains why this is such a good project. It's a sharing website. It's fine, but it wouldn't take long for another cryptocurrency token to do exactly the same thing, and then you'll have a bit of a competition on their hands. The name BitTorrent is obviously formidable. They bought this for, I think, for around $150 million last year, so quite a big purchase. And obviously Tron can see a money-making scheme out of this, or a way to enhance the Tron network, or the ecosystem, I should say. Great news for Tron, but I just don't see it. It's not something I've invested in, not something I even bothered looking at. Again, I might be missing a trick here. So very interesting. I'd like to know your comments or thoughts on this. And let's move on. So some more hacking information. Chain analysis. This is what they state. 2 probably still active group accounts for $1 billion in crypto hacks. Not good. A report outlined by blockchain analytics company Chain Analysis has revealed that 2 hacker groups have reportedly stolen $1 billion in cryptocurrency. The Wall Street Journal reports January 28th. According to the new report shared with Wall Street Journal, the 2 entities, which Chain Analysis calls Alpha and Beta, have received the majority of the money lost in cryptocurrency scams. Furthermore, the Wall Street Journal cites Philip Gradwell, the chief economist at Chain Analysis, as saying that the 2 organizations are probably still active. However, the aforementioned article also quotes Chain Analysis admitting that there is a chance it's always incorrect, and that the company has not been able to determine the group's identity. The report purportedly states that Alpha is a giant, tightly controlled organization at least partly driven by non-monetary goals, while Beta is a smaller and less organized, heavily sanctioned organization heavily focused on the money. The stolen funds were reportedly transferred and on average of 5,000 times before being converted into cash through online exchanges. The two groups operate differently. Alpha reportedly begins transferring the cryptocurrency from address to address immediately, while Beta tends to wait up to 18 months, letting the publicity around the attack fade away. The report notes that Alpha converts about 75% of the funds within 1 month on average, while Beta cashes out 50% just in days after their self-imposed waiting period. Those funds sometimes go through regulated exchanges since, as Grad will explain, after so many transfers, even those exchanges with many multi-laundering structures have trouble noticing that they received hacked proceeds. Oh, God, that's not good. As news recently broke, as much as $16 million worth of Ethereum, and he said, so crypto. So it's around 16. Okay, so the news from Cryptopia was $16 million worth of Ethereum and ERC 20 seconds were stolen in mid-January, and that's the reason why I think Cryptopia is still down. And they put up a post recently talking about the fact that they've had no access to their own systems. It's still being under police investigation. So it's not looking very good for Cryptopia and anyone, unfortunately, who has funds with them. So let's look at Alpha and Beta. When I read this, it seems less like, obviously, it's not going to be individuals. It's going to be massive teams. If you're stealing $1 billion worth of crypto and you're holding it for 18 months before you convert it, or transferring it to 5,000 different times, probably through different addresses before you go through exchanges, no AML is going to go and pick that up. I'm going to put my conspiracy hat on. Does it sound like a country or does it sound like individuals? When they say that Alpha is a tightly controlled organization, at least partly driven by non-monetary goals, while Beta is a smaller and less organized, heavily sanctioned organization, it almost sounds, this is just my opinion, that it's like almost sounds like Russia and China, or China and North Korea. Again, it might just be a massive team of people, but to steal, $1 billion out of two sort of hack groups is incredible. How many hacks would there have been to get to 500 million each? If the Cryptopia hack was 16 million, how many hacks have we had over 2018 which may have not been reported, or reported and not many people picked up this news? It goes again what I've been saying the last few days, and what the whole point of proof of keys was: don't store majority of your money online. Keep it offline in a wallet, cold storage it like a ledger, and whatever it may be, and what I was going to say was and keep what you want on the exchange when you're actually doing some transactions. I keep saying this, I'm almost saying it daily, but we're getting a situation now that they're happening more often, and we had reports about Binance and that sort of stuff, but we don't actually know how secure everything is until we are holding our own private keys, and that sounds scary in itself. If you go and tell people who are not in the crypto community that all the money you have, all your savings, you need to keep hold of, and if you lose it or you forget what the details are, it's gone forever. It's a lot to take in, but it's taking control of what you have and your wealth. And we can accept it as crypto enthusiasts and understand the issues and the positives and the negatives of it, but ultimately, exchanges only as protected until you have a great hacking team. I watched a documentary about Russian hackers, and this was comments made by MI5, who said that the Russian hackers are so sophisticated. If they wanted to hack anything, they can. There's no issue. They can hack into whatever they want, whenever they want. It's just they choose not to hack, and when they choose to hack. So if they can hack into, the NSA or CIA, the FBI, wherever it may be, you think they can't hack into Binance or Kraken or Coinbase? And that can be worrying, because until we figure out how to securely protect ourselves, and I know a lot of the cryptocurrency exchanges do store most of this stuff offline, like Binance does. I think it holds 1 or 2% online. Is it not better to keep your money yourself, basically, which is what I'm saying. So very interesting, and I keep seeing these pop up more often than not, unfortunately, at the moment. And I hope nobody out there who's listening lost any money. And if you have been burnt, has there been any sort of recourse from the exchanges in terms of money back? So it'd be interesting to hear that side as well. But again, don't want to spend too much time on this. But again, I said that twice. Just be careful out there with your money, with your currencies. A lot of us have been holding currency for many years now, and we don't want to be losing it now. Just as a point where we expect a massive bull run at some point this year. Anyway, let's move on. So here's an interesting tidbit, or sort of bite sizes away from Davos and the World Economic Forum, and it was a lot of bashing of crypto, which I don't know. You could probably spin it into positive. The fact they're talking about it, the most irrelevant thing you could do about is not talk about something, and that makes that product irrelevant. For example, nobody talks about Blockbuster Video now because it's dead and buried, right? Nobody really talks about CDs or Nokia phones much, because it's nothing compared to what it used to be. So let's see what the I won't read too much. I kind of just want to review over certain people. So Circle CEO Jeremy Allaire stood up for crypto. Jeremy Allaire, CEO and co-founder of Goldman Sachs-backed crypto finance company Circle, who was a panelist at the Building Sustainable Crypto Architecture talk, countered the obligatory crypto mongering, which will be detailed further below, by arguing that virtual currencies will be essential for surviving the digital age due to their decentralized nature. Crypto is fundamental to the future. We need tamper-proof, resilient, decentralized infrastructure if we want society to survive the digital age. That sentence is kind of the whole point of cryptocurrency. Tamper-proof, resilient, decentralized. These perfect 3 words is exactly what I'm sure Satoshi Nakamoto team himself or whatever herself decided to do when they created Bitcoin. Allaire also commented on the stigma attached to cryptocurrencies. People throw around crypto like it's a bad thing. It's scary, he said. Guess what? Cryptography is at the foundation of protecting modern society, human privacy. It's a fundamental tool for our cyber defenses. It's a fundamental tool of every corporation. So that's kind of like what he said, positive. And then we've got our lovely friend Jamie Dimon, who famously said that he doesn't really give a shit about Bitcoin in the past. Was asked if he took any satisfaction when the cryptocurrency plunged in 2018. Dimon replied that he didn't. Moreover, the JP Morgan Chase CEO noted that he's pro-blockchain despite the excessive hype around technology. In his view, blockchain is a better replacement for certain online databases. Blockchain is a real technology. It's just a database that we can all access that's kept up to date. Indeed, the American Investment Bank has a history with blockchain. In 2017, JP Morgan Chase announced its own blockchain-enabled system for global payments that will significantly reduce the number of parties involved in the transaction chain, hence reducing remittance time from weeks to hours. Well, XRP does it in seconds. Further, in 2018, the bank filed a patent to peer-to-peer payment network on blockchain. Okay, so Dr. Doom, PayPal CEO, another slammed crypto. I wonder why PayPal CEO slammed crypto. Interesting. Other industries representatives appeared less collected in their remarks about crypto. Perhaps the harshest of them was New York-based economist, our friend Nouriel Roubini, who also knows Dr. Doom, who introduced himself as Number one public critic of cryptocurrencies and blockchain. I'm glad he's happy he has that title. During panel hosted by crypto exchange Latoken. I think that I'll not read that. I've already gone over that. I mean, he calls it provocative. He doesn't think it says no better than an Excel spreadsheet, and he says the most overhyped technology ever. And I say to you, it's pretty much in line with the internet, Mr. Rubini. Crypto or the blockchain, let's not take it crypto, blockchain is just as important for us as individuals versus the rest of the world than the internet was for freedom of information. So, PayPal CEO Dan Schulman also criticized Bitcoin, focusing on its limited use for retail purposes and scarce merchant options. However, he recognized the potential of blockchain. We're not seeing many retailers all accept any of the cryptocurrencies, but I think the underlying technology is still interesting. The idea that PayPal CEO is not a massive fan of Bitcoin is going to be obvious, right? I'm sure PayPal have tried to do something similar before and was kind of just shot down about 10 years ago or maybe longer. Slowly, the adoption of Bitcoin will increase once we get more and more Lightning Network nodes. Again, keep going about backed, but that's going to start it. And I believe there's going to be almost like a tidal wave, because once, massive corporation or massive coffee shop like Starbucks, which is everywhere, is going to start accepting Bitcoin, then others will. If they're accepting it, I'm sure other sort of coffee outlets and other small shops like that with small transactions will start accepting it. Then it will come back a year or 2 years later, or 3 years later, to Davos, like it is every year, and let's see what they're talking about in a few years' time. I'm sure Mr. Diamond at JP Morgan and JP Morgan generally probably are holding Bitcoin and buying Bitcoin. They would be stupid not to. I wouldn't criticize that for them. I just don't like the fact that they're publicly coming out and criticizing Bitcoin and then buying it up. Maybe it's helping the price go down so they can buy it more, but they're probably doing something which they think is smart by buying Bitcoin. And that's why people out there, and again, not financial advice, people get to a point where individuals like you and I won't be able to afford Bitcoin because will be outpriced out of the market. We're sitting at $3,455 today. 10 years from now, if we're sitting at $300,000, $400,000, if you bought 0.1, it'll be $40,000, and obviously 0.001 would be $4,000, and even 0.0001 would be $400. So that's what they're hoping it's going to get to, and I'm pretty sure they're buying it up. So I don't want to keep. I'll link in the description below. What do you guys think? The fact they're talking about it, I think, is a good thing. They obviously still a relevant topic, very relevant topic. Bitcoin is still very much in the news. But one thing I did want to say, actually, it's something I've been meaning to say for quite a few weeks. So like I mentioned, I have a banking background, and I speak to people who work on the trading floor, different individuals. And it's interesting how little a lot of these traders actually know about cryptocurrency. When you mention Bitcoin or mention cryptocurrency, the first thing that they say is Bitcoin is down. I hear it's dropped a lot of value. And it's always interesting to hear traders like agricultural traders or energy traders or commodity traders to always talk about the Bitcoin price straight away, instead of looking at the actual information coming out. And like I mentioned in previous videos, you have TA traders, technical analysis traders, and you have information traders, and the ones who read the news. Technical analysis will look at the charts and look for breakouts and triangles and look for patterns and literally make a trade on that. Similar to what algorithms do. A traditional trader will look at information and news. You would think that people would be keeping an eye on crypto and blockchain And because the company that I work for doesn't, then it means that the individuals don't bother looking at it and even don't understand crypto themselves. It's an asset which eventually, in probably 5 or 10 years' time, will be the main things on the indexes, probably like on the New York Stock Exchange or the Dow Jones or the FTSE or wherever it's going to be. And they know very little about crypto. And again, it's all about education, trying to explain to you what Bitcoin is, what is XRP, what is Ethereum, what is cryptocurrency, why is it important, what is blockchain, and why do we have these things. And it's good that people at Davos are still talking about it. This is why it's not a bad thing. They can bash it as much as they want, but every year they keep talking about the same things. Brad Garlinghouse is there. Of course, he's a big name. He's CEO of Ripple, and Ripple is a very friendly, bank-friendly cryptocurrency. Sorry, XRP is a very bank-friendly cryptocurrency. But the fact they keep talking about it means that there's so much interest in it. The word Bitcoin keeps coming up, even if it's Brad talking about it or someone else talking about it, Jamie Dimon talking about it, or Mr. Doom talking about it, Dr. Doom. They always keep talking about Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. And that only enhances its almost an infamous way. People are start looking into Bitcoin. And I saw a video today saying that Bitcoin was, out of all the cryptocurrencies, obviously the most searched on Wikipedia, probably over like 10 or 15,000 views it has in terms of actually articles read by people. So I don't care. They keep talking about it, negative, positive, whatever. The more they talk about it, the more it gets other people interested in talking about it, and the more people read about it, and more people realize actually it's a really good idea. Bitcoin is a good product. I'm going to invest in it, and that's what happens. And we got to $20,000 without much positive information from the press that people kept buying. So talk about it as much as you want, guys. It doesn't bother us. The more information, the more news we have out there, the better it is for us. The worst thing is they don't talk about crypto and then we're a dead market. So keep talking. I'll leave it there, guys. Great video as always. I'd love to hear from you guys. Please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next video. Goodbye and good night.